Let's have a look inside this Smith & Wesson 1000 and let me tell you about a really common problem they have. Hi there, it's Jim Humphrey again from Imminent Threat Defense Firearms Training. And we're going to have a look at the Smith & Wesson 1000. Of course, first thing we're going to do is make sure it's unloaded and remove all live ammunition from the work area. These early model 1000s had an issue that would eventually cause failure to eject malfunctions. Let's tear this one down and I'll show you the source of the problem. This starts by removing the fore-end cap and the fore-end assembly. And then with the bolt locked to the rear, I can remove the barrel. Inside the magazine tube is the pressure compensator. Next, I'll push the piston pin. It's only retained by a ring spring, so it comes out easily. That then allows me to remove the piston connecting ring and the piston. Next, I'll knock out these two pins that hold the trigger assembly. And with them removed, the trigger assembly pretty much just falls out. To remove the breech bolt, I have to remove the operating handle by lining up this opening in the breech bolt and then simply pulling the operating handle out of the breech bolt. Then I can pull the action bar assembly and remove the bolt and bolt base from the receiver. Now here's the problem child with this shotgun. Back here in the magazine tube is a rubber piston shock absorber. This shock absorber was originally made from a material that apparently wasn't resistant to heat or solvents. And after a few years, they would just turn into goo, gumming up the entire impingement system, causing malfunctions. This shock absorber sits on top of a steel washer that rests on the notches in the magazine tube. It's important during every cleaning to inspect this shock absorber. You'll save a lot of aggravation in the end if you replace it before it melts. When I reinstall the steel washer, I have to make sure it seats down on top of those notches and sits flat in the bottom of the piston chamber. The shock absorber fits snugly inside the tube, so once I get it started, I'll use that piston to push it right down against that steel washer, and it will hold the steel washer in place because it does fit snugly. I'll leave the piston and compensator valve out for now until I get the rest of the firearm assembled to the point where I'm ready to put the fore end on. It's probably not necessary to remove the links from the breech bolt base, but the pin's so loose, I figured I'd show you how they go back together because mine fell apart accidentally. So the two links come together at the tip and they have a slight downward curve on them. Likewise, the action bars can fall off pretty easily. They fit in like this, kind of put them in, then hinge them down. There's obviously a left and right one. The right one has the cutouts on it on the top. The left one has the cutouts on the bottom, kind of unusual. Getting the bolt on the base and onto the action bars, and then getting everything back inside the receiver takes a bit of finessing, to say the least. Once I get the bolt partially back inside the receiver, Then I have to flip the receiver over and reach in and line the links up with the action bar guide. It's the kind of yellowish plastic piece here in the back of the receiver. If I've done that right, the bolt should move freely, and then that allows me to line up the bolt to reinsert the operating handle. To reinstall the trigger group, I have to take this little nub that sticks up, that's a safety, it's spring-loaded, and engage it in the back of the receiver first so that it pivots forward. Then hold the trigger group in place, line the holes up, and then just press those pins into place. And with a light tap of a hammer, that's all it takes. And to get the front end back on, I'm going to start by locking the bolt to the rear. And be careful not to lay the gun down on its left-hand side and press that bolt release button. So first the piston, and it has this hole in it that the pin has to go through. So it lines up with the slot in the magazine tube. The piston connecting ring slides on and is held in place with this. The connecting ring pin, it just presses into place. It's held in with a spring clip. The pressure compensator valve assembly has a lip on the edge, so it only fits in one way. And the final steps are slide the barrel back on, and the fore end, and the fore end cap. It ratchets down, and you can hear it clicking. So I usually take it all the way down until it stops and bring it back just one click. That ratcheting mechanism will hold it tight, so don't over torque it. You'll just have trouble getting it off. There you go. That's all there is to it. As always, I'm Jim Humphrey from Imminent Threat Defense Firearms Training. Enjoy your firearms. Keep training. Stay safe out there. Thanks for watching.